Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. I am the Crypto Game Snob, and in today's video we are going to break down what all of the different sets are all about, what all the different rarities are about, what are all the different qualities are about, what do these things even mean. This is just a bit of a helper vid for those of you just getting into Gods Unchained, what this is all about. This took me a little bit of time to decipher, but it's very simple once you know. Let's kick things off with the different sets that are available. So the core set is the set that you can earn from playing the game, from leveling up, from winning weekend ranked events. You can win core cards out of that. You can also win Divine Order cards from weekend ranked events, but that's another point that I'm not going to touch on here. You can win these largely just from playing the game, from grinding through the game. And I say grinding, but actually I should say just like playing and having fun, because nothing feels grindy in my opinion about this game. It's just a lot of fun to play. It doesn't feel like a grind, it's just fun. That being said, from grinding through the levels as you play game after game, you get XP and you level up, and every time you get a level you get another rare deck. Every time you get I think it's 5 levels, you get an epic deck. Every time you get 25 levels you get a legendary deck, and the cards that you can get come from the core set. Now the core set is not set in stone, okay? We'll talk about that in just a minute. Some of the other decks, some of the other sets rather, like Genesis and Trial of the Gods, which have been officially released at this point, are set in stone. They can never be changed. The face, the name, the value, all of these things, the stats, what the character actually card actually does, I guess I should say, what those things are all about can be balanced in the core set. At any point, at any time that developers think they need balancing, they can balance those out. So these cards are not totally fixed. They can probably be fixed for a long time, but you never know when there's going to be a bit of a balance. The core set is flexible, but that's also the deck. This is also the set, rather I should say, that you can fuse in the new Forge. You can fuse these cards that you win from playing, or rather that you earn from playing, from grinding through games and getting XP and leveling up. You can fuse these together using God's tokens, and then you can sell these cards on Token Trove or at the Immutable X marketplace, whatever you like. Okay, so that's basically the core set. Okay, so the very first expansion set that was ever released was Genesis. And now this is the big daddy. This was released about almost 2 years ago, I think. A year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that. So these are cards that you can no longer buy from the Gods Unchained website. You cannot buy Genesis cards, you cannot buy Trial of the Gods cards anymore. You can only buy these cards from the secondary markets like Token Trove. Okay, so these cards are locked. If this says destroy all creatures again. If this is a 3/3 with the Roar of Delve legendary creature 3 times, it will always be that. These cards are locked, these cards are fixed, these cards are finite in supply. There can only ever be as many as you see available. 9,845 Pyramid Wardens is all there will ever be of that particular card. And that's basically a locked deck. It was the first deck ever launched. It's the most expensive collection of cards you'll find currently because it's the oldest, and it was the first deck ever launched. The next expansion set ever launched, was the Trial of the Gods set. Now this was launched maybe about a year ago, I think, give or take. It sold out really quite quickly. It was kind of hard to get these. They were launched in a fairly finite supply, similar I think to the Genesis set. I'm not exactly sure the numbers, but these are also locked. These are also unchangeable. If it's a Chiron 1/1 with Redren 1, it will always be what it says on the card. These are unchangeable, these are fixed, these are locked. You can't buy these from the Gods Unchained website anymore. You can only buy these from the secondary market. And yeah, a lot of powerful cards in the Trial of the Gods set, a lot of powerful gods in Genesis set, and that actually brings us to the Divine Order set, which also has a lot of powerful cards in it. This deck is currently undergoing balancing, which means you can still buy the the Divine Order set, expansion set from the Gods Unchained website, but the cards that you buy will not be locked until they officially are happy with the balancing of this expansion set and just basically release it and stamp it and say, okay, this is balanced, this is done, this is official. Right, so we're sort of still in an alpha testing phase for this set. But this is the most current set that you can get right now today. You can, like I say, so you can still buy these decks from God's Unchained website. As soon as you buy them, they become sellable, or whatever the case may be. You can also pick these all up, of course, from the secondary markets, Token Trove, Immutable X Marketplace, etc. Okay, so those are all the different expansion sets. There are also a couple other things you'll see here: Etherbots and promos. Now, I do not know exactly, this is kind of before my time, so I do not exactly know when these were launched, but these were kind of, I suppose they're sort of a bit of a promotional early access something, I'm not exactly sure. I guess the promo cards, like the Rat of Destruction, I think is fairly new, so they might just drop some certain special promo cards into the promo set that are just sort of special cards that are kind of random luck to get, or whatever the promo may be, right? So that's where promo cards kind of come from. As for the Etherbots, I'm not sure where these originally came from. This is before my time, but you can't buy these anymore. You can only get them from the secondary market, and there's not a whole lot of them. There's only what you see here. Don't know what the origin source of these were, but yeah, some sort of early access promo or something, I'm guessing. Not entirely sure. Okay, so that covers the different sets that are in the game. Next up, let's take a look at the Rarity. Now, this is fairly easy to understand. If you ever played Warcraft, you will know what this is all about. We have common cards, which are common cards. You know, they're not necessarily bad cards. They're not necessarily even less good than some legendary cards, but these are common cards. They have no little shiny, but you'll see they're gray in these little gem sections right here. That indicates a common card. Any set can have common cards. Any set can have rare, epic, legendary, and not necessarily mythic cards. That's a whole separate thing. But each set can have any of these cards, right? So this basically just tells how abundant this particular card is when you're purchasing decks or winning decks or whatever the case may be. Some cards are more common, some are less common, right? But some are also typically more powerful as you go up in rank from common to rare to epic to legendary to mythic. Now, this is not always the case. Sometimes you'll get rare cards that are much more powerful than legendary cards, right? Sometimes that'll happen. So it's not guaranteed that a higher rarity card will be more powerful, but it can situationally be more powerful, and oftentimes it is more powerful than the common card. Like I say, it kind of depends card to card. But rare cards are basically what have these little blue diamonds right there. You see on the left and right we have that little blue diamond. That indicates a rare card. Epic card is a step up from rare, indicated by this little purple diamond here, typically more powerful than rare, but again, take that with a grain of salt, because here we have Demogorgon, which is an epic card, considered to be one of the most powerful cards in the game, certainly more powerful than a lot of legendary cards, and it's only an epic card, right? So take that with a bit of a grain of salt in terms of power levels. Next up, we have the sort of final tier, which is the legendary tier. Now, these cards tend to have certain abilities, certain characteristics that you just don't see anywhere else, right? They just tend to have certain special characteristics. They can make or break an entire deck when you pull these at the right time or not. Decks can be geared around these cards a lot of the time. But basically, these are the most rare cards you can find, except for Mythic, which are kind of a whole other thing, right? Which I'll talk about in just a minute. But basically, yeah, those legendary cards tend to have exaggerated abilities, stats, whatever. Here we have a 1-mana or 2/6, for example, but it also has this huge, interesting downside, right? So you can get really unusual and crazy things with legendary cards. You don't typically see that as much in Epic or in rare cards, although Epic and rare cards can also have some very interesting effects, but those legendary cards are basically your top tier in theory. Your top tier in theory. Okay, so next up, let's take a look at the quality levels of cards. I'm just going to pull up Demogorgon here to illustrate what this is. So quality level refers to the value of a card, basically. So it takes 5 Meteorite cards to forge 1 Shadow card. Now, I don't believe you can do that yet with the current state of the Forge, but I believe at some point you will be able to. But basically, it takes 5 Meteorite cards to forge 1 Shadow card, so the cost of a Shadow card is typically much, much more. It takes 25 Meteor cards to forge 1 gold card. So typically, as you can see here, the cost of a gold card is much, much more. What is the difference between playing a Meteorite card and a gold card in the game, no difference. No difference at all whatsoever. One is shiny and it looks awesome, and you get to like flex on your opponent, like look how cool my card is. And the other card doesn't have any of those characteristics going on to it, but it works exactly the same. There is, I think, some speculation that playing with higher shine cards in the future might give you more rewards, but that is, I think, just a rumor and a speculation. I don't really know if that's going to come to be. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if it did. And then, of course, we have the final tier, which is the diamond card. There are 125 meteorite cards inside to make one diamond card, basically, is what it would cost to fuse one diamond card. And now you can see diamond cards on the market are by far the most expensive. Crazy prices. We had a Demogorgon sell for $35,000 about a week ago. But yeah, basically it takes 125 meteorite cards to make a diamond card, and that's basically it in a nutshell. So you have your 4 different quality levels. They all work the same in the game. One of them is just shiny. It may give you more rewards to play with. It might even give you rewards to hold. And actually, the airdrop did give you more rewards to hold shiny cards as compared to regular cards. I don't know if there will be another airdrop or not, but holding more value in your wallet, in your deck collection, can be accounted for by shine and also by just what the card's value is, type thing. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Basically all of the different things in a bit of a nutshell. Okay, that's it. All right, see you later. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. My subscribers, you guys are rock stars. I appreciate the support. My viewers, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again in the future. Check out the Discord link below to join our tiny little community, tiny little growing community on crypto gaming and basically the NFT space and all that sort of stuff, trying to discover the rare hidden gems, the opportunities before it explodes, before it's too late to get in on early action. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. See you guys later.